My name is Paul Brereton. I'm from the Food and Environment Research Agency, where I'm coordinator of agri-food research there. I've been working in the area of food fraud for over 20 years, and I've been doing that really in terms of a lot of European work, because Europe has been the major funder of research into food fraud throughout the world, and that's why Europe is actually the leader in this area. If you go back, say, 20 years, we had the Common Agricultural Policy, and we had what was called wine lakes and sugar mountains. Because the producers had a guaranteed price, they often didn't put the proper product into stall. They just had coloured water went in as wine, and mislabeled sugar and things like that. So they could make a lot of money. So the European Commission were being defrauded. So they put a lot of research into anti-fraud activities, and that's really where a lot of this research started. Following on from sort of the European Commission funding, it was very fragmented in lots of different areas. And for every European project, there are 10 national projects that have been funded that no one really knows about. So there's a general lack of coordination. So what we've just started is a large 12 million euro project called Food Integrity, and that's going to bring everything together. So we're going to work with a group of scientists throughout the world, but mostly in Europe, and we're going to consolidate all this research and get it all together and get everyone working together. And the things that we're going to do is, for instance, how can people share data? It's not very easy in the food fraud area, because no one wants to say their products is fraudulent at all or adulterated. So we're doing that in terms of knowledge sharing. We're also going to be developing early warning systems, and these are quite novel, and the idea is that we're going to anticipate where fraud might happen. How are we going to do that? Well, we're going to look at some of the systems that people use already. So the insurance industry, the money markets. We're going to look at ways of looking at perturbations in the web, what's happening there, what sort of things that might inform us. And there's a lot of interest, as you can imagine, in this sort of very innovative research, and it's going to take time. There's a lot of work doing, but we're really really excited about it. One of the interesting things is we're doing a consumer behaviour study in China. Well, there is quite a lot of evidence that the sort of more established middle class in these developing countries are starting to doubt Western European products. And the reason they're doubting it, because they're such targets, prime targets for counterfeiting in their own countries. So if you're someone in China and you're wanting to buy, expensive European product, they're starting to doubt the authenticity of it, so they're not buying it. So we're doing this study. It's it's the first time that's ever been done in China as an exemplar of what is happening in developing countries, and there's quite a lot of industry are interested in this work. One of the problems with anti-food fraud measures is that there isn't the same infrastructure within Europe as there is for food safety. If there is a horse meat issue, for instance, where do you go for information? Where do you go to get methods and samples or reference samples, etc., to help you in your analysis? So the project is going to address that issue. This sort of work has been going on for a long time, but what is different at the moment is the engagement, the sensitivity of all the sort of major stakeholders, so that we're working with industry, governments, consumer organisations. They all want to be involved in this, and it's really, everyone wants to join in, because it's not just sort of the consumer that's being defrauded, but also the honest industry producer. So they've got a vested interest, and there is sort of evidence that sort of organised crime is now moving into the food area, because it's a lot safer for them to operate. The penalties aren't so severe. So really it's everyone getting together to sort of fight against food fraud.